Hi, and welcome to a new episode of St. Louis Presents. Jeff, good to see you again.
Thank you, Steve.
And I don't know, do I dare say happy holidays this early? You know, some people start way early.
I'm not ready. I don't know about anybody else, but this is a little too fast this year. But they've got Christmas decorations out already, so I guess it's coming.
Well, maybe I should go ahead and say Happy New Year.
There you go.
Have a great Easter, Jeff.
There you go. See, well, you know what? I'm not ready, and you apparently aren't either, but the Missouri Botanical Garden is ready. It's going to be a beautiful display. Coming up in just a little while with the whole park, I guess as they refer to it, decorated, spectacular looking with all the lights. Anybody who's seen it knows it's beautiful anyway, but this is the time of year, it just looks incredible. But also, there's a lot of stuff that goes on every day of the year that the park is open that many of us probably don't take advantage of. So we're going to learn about some of this stuff.
I think you could literally go to the Botanical Garden once a week all year and find something to amuse yourself with, something new or something you hadn't seen before.
Right.
That's a great thing.
We're going to learn about some of that.
We're also going to talk to Missy Kelly because the partnership of Downtown St. Louis is sort of taking on a new identity, and they're changing their name. We'll tell you about that. And they've been around since like the 1950s, and people may not know what they do, but they really work hard to make downtown St. Louis a better place to live, work, and play, and just want to make it a positive experience for visitors and people that live there. So we're going to find out what they're doing to encourage all of that.
That's good. All right.
So there's a lot to come.
Excited.
So stick around because we'll have that and much more coming up next on St. Louis Presents.
The Missouri Botanical Garden is known for beautiful displays and special exhibits this time of year, but they offer much more. From crafts and cooking to wellness and sustainability, Holly Bergtold is here to tell us about what we might be missing at the Botanical Garden. And I will tell you first of all, Holly, that I live right by the Botanical Garden, and I'm one of those folks that goes certain times of the year for big festivals, big events, but I know I'm missing out on a lot. What are some of those other things that people might not know about?
I've been asked about 3 times this month if we're closed at this time of year after the Garden Glow and all of the Kwanzaa celebrations and Hanukkah. We're not. We really are a different type of garden. If you think about the cold months and there's not a huge amount of people and a huge amount of crowds, you can get through that garden and take lovely nature walks, see wildlife, the birds and things that are swooping over the garden. And there are actually things in bloom at that time of year. We have witch hazel in bloom. We have some very early bulbs that are starting, snowdrops and things like that. So it's a very contemplative time of year. So there is that. There's also the Kemper Center for Home Gardening, which is one of my favorite places, and people just walk past that all the time. It almost looks like a house. But once you go in, if you're a gardener, you can find so much information. So how about in January and February, how about planting that garden, getting your soil tested? If you're really having a hard time, you can go in and see, well, why aren't things growing in my yard? Well, you need to amend the soil, you need to do this and that. And we've got wonderful volunteers who are there to help. And then we've got the classes. And the classes are everything from cooking to crafts, to gift ideas, to we've got drawing, we've got wellness classes, we've got yoga, tai chi, so all sorts of great stuff.
And how does that work? Do you pay a regular admission to get into the park and then a separate fee for the classes? Or?
No, not so much. If you're signing up for that class and you're not a member, that's okay. You just come into the class and you've paid your fee, and that's okay, and we welcome you. We do hope that you'll join because you get even better prices, but yeah.
You've convinced me. I had my first garden this year and
good.
Well, some things lived, some things did not, so you got me. What about, and so this time of year, obviously, we're coming up on the Garden Glow. Talk a little bit about that.
Oh, the Garden Glow is just going to be fantastic. Nearly 1 million lights all over. Huge amount of area that we're covering all the way to the back of the garden this year.
As you say, bigger this year.
Way much bigger, yeah. Excellent. So the maze is covered. We've got the lights. You walk through pathways, and it's just a fantastic sensory experience. We've got s'mores, we've got fire pits, we've got entertainers, we've got music, we've got it all. It's just great. The entire family, people coming in from out of town, they're gonna love this.
Or date night.
Date night is fantastic. We had 34 wedding proposals last year under the twinkling lights, so that was a lot of fun to see.
Nice, that's exciting. And does that go on during regular hours of the facility?
That's at nighttime, so that's 5:30 to 9:30 from November 22nd through the 3rd of January. Now you need to check on our website because we're only open from Wednesday through Sunday at part-time, and then when we get closer to the holidays and Christmas, then we're open every single night. Get your tickets early. This is one big event.
That sounds good. All right. Well, we're going to toss it over to Steve now. Give us a little bit of the news information. Steve?
Thanks, Jeff. I heard you say that you weren't very good at that gardening thing. Remind me later. I've learned the hard way, so I can give you some tips on that. Well, St. Louis entrepreneur Talia Goldfarb appeared on a recent episode of ABC's Shark Tank and came out with a $75,000 investment for the company that she co-founded with her sister 10 years ago. Their company, Myself Belts, creates belts that kids can fasten themselves, as well as belts that are easy to use for teens and adults with special needs. The company is excited about where the exposure from the show may take them. Every year, on the third Thursday of November, the American Cancer Society encourages smokers to take part in the Great American Smokeout by using the day to make a plan to quit or by planning in advance and quitting smoking on that day. Tobacco use remains the single largest preventable cause of disease and premature death in the United States. For more information about the Great American Smokeout and tips on quitting, visit American Cancer Society at cancer.org. And the 2014 Ameren Missouri Festival of Lights will help kick off the Christmas season in the newly renovated Union Station. That'll be Saturday, November the 22nd. The festivities begin at 3 p.m. with a talent and music festival, as well as a variety of children's activities. Santa's arrival on a train will also be happening there, and will all culminate with the holiday lights and fireworks display at 6:25 p.m. Mayor's sleigh will light the Salvation Army's majestic tree of lights, which will be displayed across from Union Station. So for more information about this annual holiday tradition, visit christmasinstlouis.org. And going back to that story about the smokeout, Jeff, boy, that's a tricky thing, you know. I don't smoke cigarettes, I never have.
Right.
But you can't make someone quit if they don't want to.
This is true.
So you can, you know, all with good intentions, that's great. But the person's really got to decide themselves. So I guess that's part of what the day is all about too. So good luck if you're out there wanting to stop smoking.
Yep.
That'd be a good thing.
And downtown is going to look amazing. I don't know if you've seen Union Station lately, but the renovation is just amazing.
I haven't been in, but you know, the members of the Partnership for Downtown St. Louis have voted to change the name. And we're going to find out more about that. Please welcome Missy Kelly. She runs the place, Downtown St. Louis. What's your official title?
Chief Operating Officer.
Right.
Very official.
Yeah, it does sound official, doesn't it?
So, you know, your organization has been around since 1950 something, right?
1958.
Yeah, but I suspect that it's an organization maybe a lot of people really don't understand what they do.
That's true, and some of that, it's not necessarily by design, but it's a little bit okay, because part of our role is to really be a catalyst for creating and promoting a downtown that attracts investment, increases economic activity, and really makes it a vibrant place. So we're really kind of behind the scenes doing that. I would rather people know about downtown and all the great things that we have to offer and the opportunity that's there for them than to know who we are. So it's okay for us to be a little bit behind the scenes.
Well, excuse me, you talk about identity. Why is it important for downtown to have an identity, quote unquote?
Well, whether you live in the city, whether you live in downtown or you live in the county, the viability and the reputation of downtown affects all of us. Yeah. So if you live in New York and you hear about St. Louis, you're typically thinking about the city and downtown. So it really does matter. And think about some of the companies that we have throughout the region that want to move employees from other areas of the country. The reputation and the perception, the brand identity of our urban core is really what sells or unsells the region. So it's important to all of us, and we want to have the heart of the city really be a vibrant and exciting place.
And are you focusing on residential or commercial partnerships, or
Yeah,
is it,
that's
or
a
is it
great
across the
question.
board?
We have a really strong focus right now on residential population and really building that density. You really need to have a pretty strong, dense residential population for retail to survive. And we do have some retail downtown. Certainly the commercial activity is very important. There's a big focus on the entrepreneurial startup mid and small sized businesses, and we've got national recognition for that. So we're doing really well in that area, and a lot of those people are living downtown, which helps.
Right.
So the more people that we can get downtown, the more people that are on the streets, the more you draw, again, retail and other types of development.
Right. And that's one thing I know I hear a lot of people say is that downtown looks amazing during the day, but 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
not as true as it used to
No,
be.
It's
No,
not.
and I-
Now,
and I
we used
love
to
to
be,
see it busy.
we used to be, one of the cities that rolled up the sidewalks
Right,
at 5 o'clock,
right.
and that is really not the case anymore.
good to
But we want to get to the next level.
Yeah, haven't you
know,
been
so-
down on Washington Avenue at night, Jeff?
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I used to live in that area.
Yeah.
For the,
So
I enjoy it. But,
We've come a long way, but we want to be a first-tier city, and in order to do that, we really need more people living in the urban core.
Missy, let me be clear about something, because I'm not sure if I was very clear about it to begin with. Partnership for Downtown St. Louis, that's been your old name. You've changed your name.
It's called DowntownSTL Inc. And basically, it's just very clear, this is who we are, this is what we are.
More concise.
And this is what we want you to know about. So it is much more concise. And we did some perception research and learned that people didn't really understand what we did. So
What are the challenges you face when you're trying to present a positive image about any area, whether it's downtown or whatever? What kind of things are you battling?
well, perception, certainly. And you're also battling a lot of history. So, in the St. Louis region, I mean, the city and downtown at one time was an incredibly vibrant and one of the most vibrant cities and downtowns in the country. And then, with the change in the economy over time, the shift in products, downtown St. Louis is no longer a top tier city, at least from the size, from that perspective. So there's a lot of kind of mourning about what we used to be and looking back as opposed to looking at what we really are and where we can go. And so you kind of have to just remind people, yeah, we were great once. And guess what? Those pieces are still there. And we're really well positioned to be that and even more going forward. So it's really just keeping people on track with where we are and what the opportunity is.
You have something that you call Downtown St. Louis Community Improvement District. What exactly is that?
So that is the properties downtown pay an assessment, and that goes into this community improvement district. And what that does is it allows us to supplement city services to keep downtown more clean and more safe.
Right.
So clearly the city has a role in keeping downtown clean and safe, but what we do through the community improvement district is we have additional people on the street sweeping. They wear purple shirts and they're called the clean team, and their shirts say that. You'll see
on bikes, some of them.
and some of them are on bikes, the guides, the city guides, and that way if you have a question about where should you eat or you don't know where to go or how to get to the Metrolink, they'll answer. It's kind of a concierge service.
Yeah.
And then we also, our community improvement district funds a policing bike unit downtown. So you'll see police on bicycles, and that's paid for through the
So, Missy, final word, I guess, if people want to know more about what you do and if maybe they can even get involved and do something themselves, go to your website would be the best idea.
DowntownSTL.org.
Thank you so much, Missy Kelly.
Thank you.
And that's all the time we have today, but we appreciate Missy and Holly and you at home for watching St. Louis Presents.
All right, I've enjoyed it. We'll see you next time.
Come back. See you. Bye.